Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we got our Lilithmon playmat along with our Phantomon statue helping us out, and they're giving us a hand because I managed to finish like my first iteration of the Ghost deck that I was wanting to build ever since we got the Alt Art Violet In Boots. I say first version because there are a couple cards in here that don't truly belong, mainly two cards. I got two copies of each, and they're just not ghosts. But I kind of like what they did and kind of spiced up the deck in a way that I thought was interesting. So I'm like, I'm going to throw them in there and we'll see what happens. This is by no means like a meta deck, nothing like super competitive. But I mean, I could see bringing this to locals and doing all right with it. But with that out of the way, let us get right into it and take a look at what we've got. Starting out, we got our Digi-Eggs. And we got 4 copies of the BT20 Demi-Meramon. Whose inherited effect is on deletion. You may return 1 Digimon card with Ghost trait from your trash to the hand. A big thing about this, like, not super big, but big enough, is that getting cards back is going to be super important, especially because the big boss of this is Ghost. So in case he gets trashed or deleted and you need another copy, like, having a way to get him back is super good. And getting into the main deck, the first card that we're going to look at, because I do it in set order, is one of the two that isn't a Ghost. So we're starting off with not Ghost, and that is the BT17 Doromon. He's a 3 play cost, 1 Digivolution cost, 2000 DP. All this stuff up here, don't care. Like, I would read it, but doesn't have anything to do with the deck, so there's no point in it. The real reason why I put him in is because as an inherited effect, he gives Reboot. And that's going to give our big boss like something extra staying power worth, which I think is really important. The idea that he can attack and then on the opponent's turn, he can unsuspend. So the opponent can't attack into him unless they've got, I think it's Raid, so where they can switch to the unsuspended one. I thought was a very good way to keep them out. So I was like, sure, let's try throwing 2 copies of this in there. Now getting on with the Ghosts, from BT20, we've got 4 copies of Ghostamon. There's a 3 Digivolution cost, 3 play cost, 0 Digivolution cost, 1000 DP. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 with the Ghost trait and 1 card with the Liberator trait among them to the hand. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck. Inherited effect, on deletion, gain 1 memory. So yeah, this is a searcher, which is really good in decks, like, to be able to get what you need. So this one definitely went in, especially because, like, it's not trashing cards, even though in this deck, like, maybe I want to trash some cards. But yeah, real good. Ghost, Liberator, searches, just a solid one. Next up from BT20, we've got Candlemon, who's a 3 play cost, 0 Digivolution cost, 1000 DP. Active effect is Retaliation. Inherited effect is on deletion. By trashing 1 card in your hand, delete 1 of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. So Retaliation, I love Retaliation. It's really good. These ones, probably not going to Digivolve into things. If they do, not going to go much higher, probably, than Champion. But the idea of just, like, being able to put them down and then swing in to your opponent's Digimon, great. And again, Doromon would stop that because he's like a counter where it's like, oh, I'm going to unsuspend so this tiny 1000 can't bash his face into the big boss. The inherited effect, also nice, but not really what I'm running him for. Our last rookie, we've got the BT21 Ghostamon. 3 play cost, 0 Digivolution cost, 1000 DP. Your turn, when this Digimon would Digivolve into a card with the Ghost trait, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. Inherited effect, on deletion, gain 1 memory. So there's only 2 of him because I'm not too wild about him. Reducing Digivolution cost, that's nice. The on deletion, that's also alright, but nothing too crazy about it. Getting into the champions now. This is one that I went back and forth with. For the longest time, I only had 2 copies in there. And then I thought about more what I was doing with the deck. And I'm like, no, I got to go up to 4. And I had to take out a different Ghost to put him in. Like to 4. it was just a big decision for me. But I went with 4 copies of Soulmon from BT11. It's an old card, but I think it's really nice. 5 play cost, 2 Digivolution cost, 4,000 DP. Has a retaliation ability, and all turns, all of your Digimon with retaliation get plus 2,000 DP. It doesn't have an inherited effect, though. And really, I'm not too concerned about that, because this isn't one that I'm going to want to Digivolve out of. This is one where it's going to go on the field, it's going to give everything with retaliation plus 2,000 DP, and that's about it. Like, it's going to do that, it's going to attack into things. So the 4,000 DP, it's actually 6,000, because he gives all of the Digimon. So theoretically, if you got all 4 of these out, they would give each other a total of 8,000, bringing it up to a 12,000 DP, which, crazy good, not going to happen, but if it did, that'd be crazy. And the rest of the champions we have give retaliation to the Ultimates, starting off with our 2 copies of Bakuman from BT15. So again, old one, but I love it. 4 play cost, 2 Digivolution cost, 3,000 DP. When Digivolving or on deletion, draw 1 card, then trash 1 card in your hand. Inherited effect, Retaliation. So the Retaliation, great. Also, when Digivolving, you'll see that there's 2 different cards in this deck, which have effects that activate when they're trashed from the hand by our effects. So I like this one a lot for that, giving us some extra options to use those. But yeah, I thought 2 copies was a nice number for that. Our last champion is 4 copies of the promo Bakuman, which we pulled this winner out of when we were looking at the tournament packs. He's a 5 play cost, 2 Digivolution cost, 5,000 DP. On player, when Digivolving by trashing 1 card in your hand, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. Inherited effect, Retaliation. So again, hoping to get this guy out onto our big guy, gives the big guy plus 2,000 DP. Like, ideally, it would be Dorumon, then this guy, so that he gets Reboot and Retaliation, which would be awesome. And then, like, we can trash a card in our hand to delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon, which is alright, but maybe we can trash one of the cards that activates an effect, and that'd be cool. Onto the Ultimates. We are starting off with 2 copies of Phantomon. Hey, Phantomon. 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 Alright, enough of that. This guy's all the way back from BT4. He's a 7 play cost, 3 Digivolution cost, 10,000 DP, and he is a vanilla, just straight up vanilla. Which, yeah, like, he's a strong vanilla, which is great, but again, if you get Retaliation and you get one of the Soulmon out, then he goes up to a 12,000, and that should basically be enough to beat over most Megas. So it'll be some work, but he's got some abilities to him. Only 2 copies, because again, he is vanilla, so I didn't want to bog down too many, because as good as the attack powers of vanillas can be, if they don't have support behind them, Because if this guy loses Retaliation, it's like, what at that point? He's just a big body. Now we get to the other Digimon that is not Ghost in this deck. And that is Skull Greymon from BT6. Way far away. I thought I had these guys in order. Oh, I do. That one was from BT4. Okay. This one's from BT6. He's an 8 play cost, 3 Digivolution cost, 7,000 DP. And when you trash this card in your hand using one of your effects, you may place it under one of your purple Digimon at the bottom of its Digivolution cards. When attacking, you may trash one card in your hand to have this Digimon get plus 3,000 DP for the turn. And that's when attacking. And inherited effect, Retaliation. So again, if we got the Soulmon out, if we can trash this guy from the hand, we can put it underneath something and give them Retaliation. Love it. Again, it's not a ghost. It is undead, unfortunately. But I thought it was close enough in spirit to like the deck that I'm like, yeah, let's go with this. Which is also kind of why I put Dorumon in there, because I was like, I could see Dorumon eventually digivolving into Skull Greymon. And in fact, I originally had the champion version that gave reboot initially, but I swapped some things around after some new ghost cards came out, and I went with the rookie one because we got that promo Bakuman, which really filled up that area. And then we've got our last ultimate, which is 4 copies of Metal Phantomon. He is a 7 play cost, 4 Digivolution cost, 7,000 DP. Digivolves from Phantomon for a cost of 1. Blocker on player when Digivolving. By deleting one of your Digimon, delete one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon. Inherited effect, on deletion, de-Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. So yeah, de-Digivolving, like it. Not really the main goal of this deck, but you know what? If they get rid of our stuff and we can if he's got retaliation, not only are we getting rid of their big boss guy, but we would also de-Digivolve one of their others, slowing them down, which is great. So yeah, I like this one a lot. Plus it can be played on top of Phantomon, so in case you've got a very bricky hand and you have both of them, you can put out Phantomon, put out Metal Phantomon, and that's good. And in fact, that can help versus Iceclad, since they're all about battling with the most cards versus DP. So, yeah. And now we're finally on to the Megas, and we are starting off with 2 copies of Reapermon from the BT20 set. He's 11 play cost, 3 Digivolution cost, 11,000 DP, has Collision and Blocker. All turns once per turn. When effects Digivolve your opponent's Digimon, they Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. On deletion, delete one of your opponent's play cost 4 or lower Digimon or Tamers. Rule trait has Ghost type. This guy, he's very much a side mega. He's not our main guy, but he does some good stuff. Plus, I've got some nostalgia for him with the old Digimon Battle Arena for the PS1. The amount of times that he just kind of did his little cross stance, swirly. It wasn't fun. But yeah, 2 copies of him. Then we get to our main mega, which we've got 4 copies of Necromon from BT20. He's a 12 play cost, 4 Digivolution cost, 12,000 DP, security attack +1, and execute. At the end of your turn, this Digimon may attack. At the end of that attack, delete this Digimon. Your opponent's unsuspended Digimon can also be attacked with this effect. On player, when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level. On player, when on deletion, you may play one level 5 or lower Digimon card with the Ghost trait from your trash without paying the cost. So yeah, this guy, he's bringing stuff back very easy, which is why we got 4 of him, because that on play, we play him down hard, we get to take something back. On deletion, we get to play something back. On player, when Digivolving, we can delete one of our opponent's Digimon with the lowest level, which is great. And security attack +1 and then execute. So that's a lot of good stuff. If we can give him the retaliation and give him the extra boost to get him up to 14,000, I don't think much would be able to stand in his way. Now we get on to the Tamers. We're starting off with 2 copies of the BT18 Violet Inboots. She has 4 play costs. Start of your turn, if you have 2 memory or less, set to 3. Start of your main phase by trashing 1 option card or 1 card with a Ghost or 3 Musketeer trait in your hand, draw 1 card. Security, play this card without paying the cost. So yeah, it's going to allow us to draw some stuff, throw some Ghost Digimon out, which will allow us to activate the Digi-Egg. The Digi-Egg will... Yeah, we'll be able to activate the Digi-Egg later, because it allows us to pull a Ghost back out from the trash. So yeah, it kind of gives us some abilities there. We cannot toss Skull Greymon because he isn't Ghost type, unfortunately. But that's just a little problem there. Nothing too crazy. Then we got our other Tamer, which, of course, it's got to be the other Violet Inboots from BT20, including the alt art that I pulled off screen, which, again, I bought some packs. I'm like, I'm not going to pull anything great. I'm going to open these up. They're going to... Because I don't get to do that very often. I open almost all the packs on screen with you guys. But I wanted to open one off screen. And of course, I pulled her. She's a 3 play cost, Start of your main phase, if your opponent has a Digimon, you gain 1 memory. Your turn, when any of your ghost trait Digimon are deleted, by suspending this tamer, one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card with a ghost trait in the hand with the Digivolution cost reduced by 2. Security, play this card without paying the cost. So yeah, again, like, just being able to Digivolve a little easier. We're always going to be gaining memory from these, which is why there's 4 copies versus the 2 of the others, because again, after you get the first one of the other ones out, like memory 2 goes to 3, you're not going to do anything more. Whereas these combined with the other one possibly could get up to 7 if we get all 4 of them out. Again, that shouldn't happen, but if it does, that's pretty cool. Now we're into the option cards, starting off with 2 copies of Purple Memory Boost, both alt arts. I went with alt arts because I feel like these two like really kind of fit. Whereas we got Demi-Meramon there, and we got Pheromon, which I think is like very close to Ghost. So yeah, I went with these 2 copies of it, which again, we've seen this a lot, but reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 purple Digimon card among them to the hand. Place the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. Then place this card in the battle area. Main delay. After this card is placed, by trashing it the next turn or later, activate the effect below. Gain 2 memory. Security, place this card in the battle area. So yeah, like 2 copies, allowing us a little more searching. Really good. Also, I'm personally a fan of alt arts that are this different, because it can throw your opponent off, like seeing something that they don't see every day, and there being different versions of it. Like, not so much with these, but with Digimon, like, there are a couple Bakumons. If they make like a Bakumon, and it's got like 2 or 3 alt arts, and they are vastly different like these, it could be enough to trick your opponent into thinking like, oh, it's this other version of it that's much scarier. I can't attack because it has this effect. So it could give you some leverage there, which is why like I like alt arts. Like in tournament settings, like they can do those types of things. We've got our next one, which is another promo. This is number 108, and it is Wisdom Training, 2 copies, 2 play costs. Main, reveal the top 2 cards of your deck. Add 1 purple card among them to hand. Return the rest of the bottom of the deck in any order. Then place this card in the battle area. Main delay. One of your Digimon may Digivolve into a purple Digimon card in the hand for its Digivolution cost. When it would Digivolve by this effect, reduce the cost by 2. Security, place this card in the battle area. So another searcher, not nearly as good, but another reduction for Digivolution, which I think was pretty good. And really, like, it depends how you feel about them. Like, yes, I could have gone with 4 copies of this, but yeah, I'm not too concerned with going one way or the other. I think they both have their merits. Then our next option card is 2 copies of Underworld Call. And this one is another one of the ones where, like, if we can pitch it, like the Skull Greymon, we can get some added effects, which it is a 4 play cost. When you trash this card in your hand using one of your effects, trigger, draw 1 card. Main, you may play 1 purple level 4 or lower Digimon card from your trash without paying the cost. Security, activate this card's main effect. So yeah, if we can pitch it, we can draw an extra card. So those ones that are like draw 1, trash 1, now pretty much become draw 2. Because yes, we're going to be trashing this card, but we'll get to draw another card to replace it. So that's pretty good. And then being able to play another level 4 Digimon out, yeah, that's good too. It can allow us to get something back that we need from the trash. Mainly the Bakumons that give retaliation, or that have retaliation and give everything else, plus 2000 DP. Getting those back on the field, super important, I feel, for the way that I built this deck. So yeah, I like it. Maybe later I'll put 4 copies in. I don't know. I gotta see how this deck actually plays. I haven't played with it yet, but I have fun building decks. And the final card, of course, is Apparition Legion from the BT20. It is an 8 play cost, main by returning up to 9 levels total worth of Digimon cards from your opponent's trash to the bottom of the deck. You may play 1 Ghost Trait Digimon card of each returned card's level from your trash without paying the cost. Then, the Digimon this effect played gains Rush and Blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. Security, you may play one level 5 or lower Digimon card with the Ghost trait from your trash without paying the cost. So yeah, this is one where like it's super important. At least I feel it is, because like you can get rid of your opponent's big bad boss and it's in the trash. Then you play this out and you remove it from the trash and put it back on the bottom of their deck. Because just like this, there are ways to get things back from your trash onto your field, but to get things from the bottom of your deck back on the field is way harder. Like you would have to cycle through the deck to get it towards the top, do a search, get it out back into your hand, and then place it. Like if your opponent has like two of their main play, like big boss monsters at the bottom of their deck, they're not getting those back. That's just not happening. You have pretty much destroyed their chances of that. So yeah, I would like to run more of these, but for an 8 play cost, that is way high. Even if we can reduce it with the purple memory boost, like make it a 6, like that is still a lot of memory to give, which is why there's only 2 copies of it in the deck. But with that, let me know what you guys thought of this deck down in the comments below. What would you guys change about it? Let me know. I'd love to hear about it down in the comments. Before we head out, as you know, we got to open up at least one card. I've got a box promotion pack for Animal Coliseum. I picked this one up at a store. They had like just a bunch of packs, and they were all from like boxes they'd opened. And I was like, hey, how much are those? And the guy was like, I don't know, $2 each. And I was like, I will take your entire stack. And we've slowly been going through them, and this is the last one that we had, and because $2 is a great deal for them. Like, even if some of them are only worth like 50 cents, other ones were worth a lot more, I feel. So I picked up all of them. Plus, it's nice to support local businesses. All right, let's see. Looks like we get any of the in trainings. We got Sunmon, Moonmon, Koromon, Tokomon. Can't remember that one's name and can't remember this one's name. I would like to get either Sun or Moonmon, because we could put them in the eventual like Apollomon, the Grace Novamon deck, because like we are going to update that with all the new support they're getting. And we got Nyaromon. Okay, so this is all This is all the way back from EX5. And Inherited Effect, all turns, while this Digimon is suspended, it gets plus 1000 DP. Alright, interesting for it to be green, because I would have thought it was yellow. But yeah, pretty cool. But with that, we've reached the end of the video. As always, if you guys enjoyed the video, give it a good old thumbs up, hit that like button. If you haven't, please do subscribe. I really do appreciate it. It helps the channel grow. The algorithm loves it. We upload videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, so be sure to hit the bell. And as always, until then, I will see you next time.